What up, y'all? Uncle Shady here with another reaction video. I forgot to do this one also, I guess. I thought I did it, but I guess I didn't. This was Scene for Dummies. Was a very early song. Must have been within the first four. This was another one like the kids that kind of Aaron just wrote the chorus just by compiling a bunch of words together that really didn't like make any sense together. And I think this one was like maybe the first one that Jordan was on. And Jordan, as I told you in past videos, Jordan and George used to make a lot of fun of me because how I dressed with my distressed jeans and sleeveless shirts and tattoos and stuff, because they were very normal, I guess. I don't know what's normal these days, but so those dudes used to like make tons of fun of me for being a scene kid and having my hair the way it was, and it's funny. And so when George did this song and then the lyrics, it was just kind of like a goofy, sceney song. But this song's, I know I remember some of it. This is a pretty classic HU song, that's for sure. Matt, oh my God. I think this was the first song Matt was on too. We were trying to figure out a place for him in the band. And so he's just like, I'll just be hype man. I'll just yell behind everyone and, you know, fill in between. So that's what this was. Again, another example of Hollywood Undead would have gotten canceled coming out with these lyrics now, these days. Very much different times back in the early 2000s. It's at the World and Hollywood, actually. The World was a club that I used to go to on Fridays and Sundays. It was Club Bang and Club Beat It. It was an 80s club and an indie kind of like electronic club. It was on Hollywood Boulevard. Aaron never gone there in his life. Again, like a lot of Aaron's original lyrics was just like stuff, places, people that I knew. And he was just kind of compiling them. When you put together a song, you kind of like put together a list of cool words and stuff, and you can put together a song that way. Aaron had just got out of Full Sail Academy, and that's how they teach you how to write music. You steal someone else's stuff, basically. You steal a part of someone else's song that's really good that you like, then you build a song around it, and you steal some lyrics and then add more lyrics to it to make it look like your own. It's a kind of cheaty way of writing a song, but it helps sometimes. Yeah, I think this is Funny Man's first song too, even. Because the first few songs was just me, Jarrell, and Aaron. And then we had started the MySpace and put the songs up, and then just like, you know, then we had like 30 people in the band for a while there. Put it in your iPod. Put it on your homepage. I can still see him recording these songs. It's really weird, the recording process, recording music, and then hearing it later, because it just like this nostalgia weird thing that happens in your brain when you hear it again. Like I smell Aaron's room, like I can hear his computer running. You know, it's really weird hearing this stuff again.
The coolest kid on fucking MySpace. I'm at the scene club till Jeffrey started beating. Cause I left to a comment and saw that bitch deleted. And that's fucked up, cause I sent it from my sidekick. You got beef, meet me on Franklin and Highland.
Franklin and Highland was where Jarrell lived. If you're ever in Hollywood, there's the corner of Franklin and Highland. Well, it's not exactly the corner of Franklin and Highland. That was the corner that there's like a liquor store and stuff there, but we were 2 buildings north on Hollywood, or on Highland, heading towards the freeway. There's a building where Jarrell's house. We recorded most of the stuff at Aaron's house in Silver Lake, but some of it we mostly hung out at Jarrell's house at Hollywood and Highland. Aaron ran these choruses way too many times. I would always, like, his original versions would be like this part 6 or 7 times before someone would come in and throw down some bars. It was pretty funny. But that was always an issue. We're like, dude, it doesn't need to be so many times. Club 82, that was like my home club. None of these dudes went to that place before. We have Chip Maddie's too.
And I'd hate to be the one to break the news. Whoever Chip Maddie's tooth, I'll shank you too. The night at 82, the parking lot was stacked. I grabbed my gat and got my hand stamped by Matt. I could barely walk around because the dance floor was so packed. I walked to the back and lit off some black cats. Scene kids, tired of getting picked on by mean kids. And I'd hate to be obscene, kid, but have you seen my penis? I know you have, cause that shit is bomb. My dick's got more friends than...
Honestly, probably the best line Jordan's ever written. My dick's got more friends than Tom. And it's so, Tom from MySpace, I was managing the band before we got Jeff Peters, the manager. So the better part of the first year Hollywood Undead existed, I was managing the band because I had experience in the music industry. So the band unanimously voted that I be the manager until we got a manager. So Tom called me one day out of the blue, Tom from MySpace, and he's like, "Hey, it's Tom from MySpace." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." And the problem was is that a couple months previous, Sonny Moore, Skrillex, he posted my phone number on his Facebook page when he was in From First to Last. So for months and maybe even years, no, for sure, for years and years, because I had the same phone for 15 years. So for years, I would get calls of people calling me all, "Hey, is this Sonny?" So I get this person calling me all, "Hey, it's Tom from MySpace." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "No, it really is. We're calling you about Hollywood Undead." And I was like, "Okay." And he's all, we had a business wide meeting when we looked at your MySpace page because we thought you had hacked MySpace, because when this happened, our page blew up faster than any page in the history of MySpace when we put the first couple songs up. And I had Tila post about it, and I had Sonny from First to Last and Skrillex. I had him posting about it. We had Ricky Terra posting about it. You know, like, we had all these people posting about it. So we hit, and because of the masks and the music was kind of funny and catchy, it hit really hard. and so they actually thought we hacked MySpace. And they actually thought we hacked MySpace and to push the band out. And that's when he offered us a deal on MySpace Music, which was just starting, and we ended up going with Interscope. But that's how that happened. So let's see. Got any question? Is there any copies out there of the songs that was going to be on the original first album? I've read there's an album got scrapped, which led to Swan Songs. That's a good question. Yeah, all the original stuff. I mean, Jarrell has it. Aaron has it. I mean, I don't know where Aaron's like not in a very good place in his life, so I don't really know if he has any of this stuff. But Jarrell has it. And that's my boy, so you guys might be able to talk him out of releasing those or sneaking those or something, leaking them, because that's the good shit. The original stuff, the first 8 songs, the original recordings of the first 8 songs are really good. After I left the band, in order to get me off of their music, they re-released the songs that were recorded at Interscope Studios, I think, because they were just like not the original ones. Feel to them, but I would ask Jarrell. I mean, all those guys probably have them. I know Jarrell definitely does. Jarrell has a version of My Black Dahlia that's just me and I think it's just me and Jarrell. I don't think George was on that version, or it's me and George. But I have full, you know, full half of the song is me, you know. But they got rid of. They never, you know, they wanted to just erase me from the history of the band, so they released all this garbage stuff, and copyright struck, you know, YouTube like crazy, getting all the old stuff down. So there's that answer to the question. Are these guys still Scientologists? All their families are, yeah. I mean, these guys, they say they aren't, but they are. They were pressuring me to become a Scientologist when I was in the band. And that was a big problem between us and had a lot to do with why I ended up leaving. Explain the whole thing about Matt's tooth being chipped. He got in a fight. He was a door guy at a couple of me and Matt were the Hollywood kids that really like partied 5 days a week in Hollywood. Just being crazy, acting like rock stars. All the other guys were like Scientologists from the Valley, and like, you know, weren't really they were more in the Valley scene than the Hollywood scene. But then once Hollywood Undead got big, then they, you know, Hollywood Undead was huge in Hollywood. In the club scene, we rolled around with 300 people everywhere we went for a solid, several years. Johnny released an album. Yeah, I really don't want to listen to that. I might at some point, just because you guys have been asking me, but I really don't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the music. Is it lagging? Burp sounds. All right, well, hopefully not.
Oh, these scene clubs, I run these. I should write the book, how to be seen for dummies. All you fans in Sunset, show me where the fuck you at.
Yeah, Jordan's part is pretty cheesy, but it's like pretty good, clever lyrics, you know, like funny, very commercial, very pop. He's pretty good at writing that kind of stuff. Me and Jordan had like the most opposite opinion of where we wanted the band to go. I wanted to do more, strangely enough, considering he's the one who raps the best, I wanted to do more like a hip hop kind of metal, darker thing, you know, My Black Dahlia, Knife Called Lust. And Jordan wanted to do more stuff like this, and Charlie Cini's Got a Big Ol' Weenie, and like all these kind of like cheesy songs. I wasn't really wanting to do that. And that was another big issue in the band. God. Oh boy. They were just like, do something, and I was all, because it's like an ending, like I don't know. It was. I'm gonna start over, but this is pretty funny. Just even hearing my voice back then is pretty funny.
Fucking shit was brutal. Broke that fucking bitch off. Just got from here. Yo, Shady Jeff at the mic. Want to shout out to my boys at FFTL.
Obviously, at that time, Evan Thomas 750 was doing guitar tech from First to Last on Warped Tour, and he was gone for like 4 months. This is one of his great angers in life. While he was on tour, we did Hollywood Undead, and like if he wasn't on tour, he would have ended up being in Hollywood Undead for sure, most likely, and the whole dynamic would have been different if only he hadn't gone on tour with Sonny Moore from First to Last. So so from First to Last, roommate. Who the hell was roommate? Oh, Dez's roommate, I think. Desiree Mandelbaum. Little Dez lived with Jarrell. Chad Cruz is the homie. Haven't heard or seen of that guy in a long time. I think he was eating lots of pills at the time, and I was like, stop doing that, because people end up dead when they're popping pills. Pills are bad, kids.
Roommate, Chad Cruz. No more pills, fool. Oh. David Bridge, Pirate Dog.
I'm surprised I forgot to do this song, because I'm probably on this song more than anything. Dave and Bridge, that's Sonny Moore, Skrillex's parents. His parents are super nice people. They had this golden retriever, I think, that only had one eye, and it was a really nice dog, and so I shouted him out in the song. Ev Sesh, Your Mom Misses You, that's Evan Thomas 750. He was on tour with From First to Last at the time. Evan's mom is Aida. Shout out Aida, cool lady. Wrecking Crew, those were just a bunch of my friends. The Frauds, there was Annalise and Annalise, the two Annalises. Annalise 1 ran God's Girls. Annalise 2 was just a friend of ours. It was English. And I called them the Frauds because... Why did I call them the Frauds? They were both named Annalise, and they were both from somewhere else, and they had strange accents. And I don't remember why exactly I called them the Frauds. Rosie Olasky, who's dope homie from back in the day, she used to make weed treats, little Rice Krispie treats that had weed butter in them, and you'd eat those things, and they would just kill you. But yeah, Rosie, if you guys were around back then and you were paying attention to Hollywood Undead back then, Rosie was around a lot. Rosie actually took a lot of the first pictures of Hollywood Undead. I think she took a lot of the ones at the caves, the old zoo that we're all like in a cave. I don't know. She took a lot of classic pictures of Hollywood Undead. There was only a few people around that was actually taking pictures at that time with like good cameras.
Your mom misses you. Wrecking Crew girl. I love Frauds. Rosie, where the fuck the treats at? Apartment 20, Franklin and High.
Apartment 20 must have been Jarrell's house. Franklin Highland. Avenue 43 is Evan's house. He lives in the avenues in Nella. Nella is northeast LA. South Pasadena. I had just lived in South Pasadena. Eagle Rock. I think I was just shouting out random neighborhoods at this point. North Hollywood, Compton. Yeah, I was just shouting out random neighborhoods at that point. But Eagle Rock is in Nella. I'm not sure anyone lived there at the time that was in the band, but I was just kind of just saying whatever.
Island, Avenue 43, Nella, South Pass, Eagle Rock, North Hollywood, T.O. Kid, Compton,
Matt's just screaming in the background.
Inglewood, 818-213-310-323, LA, bitch.
Jeez, I haven't heard that in a long time. That's why I'm surprised I forgot to do this one. Like, I forgot this song even existed. Until you guys have been telling me, do C for Dummies, and I'm like, I think I did that, but nah. Such a goofy song. I was always embarrassed when, oh God, like my girlfriend's parents or something would be all, oh, put your music on. And I'm like, no, please. Or like my dad like looked up the lyrics to read to my brother or something. And he's like, I was just like, oh God, no. Or like all the time parents would come up to me and they'd be like, oh, my son loves your band. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh boy. Oh, you guys are chatting it up. You guys, did the sound get better? Hopefully. What did Matt even do in the band? No disrespect to you, but you and Aaron did all the screams. And Matt didn't really have a purpose probably until Swan Songs, really. There was, there's kind of too many people. We didn't think it was going to be a band. Like, we didn't think it was going to go anywhere. We were just like kind of running with it. So obviously starting a band and getting 7 members, every new person is a chunk of money you aren't going to make. You aren't going to make when you make money, which is like the furthest distance in the world between two places is a musician and like the first dollar they make playing music. So we didn't really, we didn't, it all happened very quickly and we didn't really know what was happening. But, like I said, at one point there was like 12 people in the band and we were like, I remember grabbing Jarrell and being like, hey, we need to like do something about this. And he was like, yeah, for sure. And, let me see if there's any more questions. If you guys have any more questions, can you please do your versus scene for Dummies again? No, absolutely not. Who are Darth and the Sun God? You'd have to ask Aaron that. I have a feeling that's like Tagger kids that Jarrell knew. Like taggers. Like graffiti kids. Jarrell hung out with like a lot of random graffiti kids, and I think that might be who they are. Do I have any good memories from when you were in Hollywood? Of course, it's crazy. I mean, I was having a pretty good time before I was in Hollywood Undead. In Hollywood, I was actor and a musician and a model. I did all kinds of stuff. So I was having a pretty good time, but being in a band and being a rock star was definitely something I wanted to do in my life. I didn't want to do it necessarily per se with that music or that band, but that's how it happened. And so it was fun. It's fun being, it's like looking back, it was a lot of fun, but at the same time, it wasn't a lot of fun. I had, some of my darkest times in my life, strangely enough, were when I was in Hollywood Undead. It's not easy being semi-famous. It's not easy having a little bit of money, like they gave us money and they're like, you're going to be rich the rest of your life. Go spend it. And we spent it all in like 2 months. And then you're like, well, I'm not going to get a job. I'm a rock star, But the whole rock star, movie star lifestyle that you see on on TV and like hear in music videos and in rap lyrics and stuff like that is complete BS, because musicians really get paid minimum wage at best. I know Drake's made some money, like if you're really, really big, you make some money, but all these guys, who are new and they're saying they're driving Lambos and stuff like that, it's complete BS. And it's not a very fun life when you can just do anything and get whatever you want. It's not really natural for humans to be famous. So it's hard to deal with psychologically. But I survived for sure, and I've had a really cool life ever since Hollywood Undead. But yeah, it was fun. I have good memories of that time. No disrespect that, but I think you did the screams better. Of course I did. Thank you. Did Aaron really not weigh a lot during the beginning of Hollywood Undead? No, he was very skinny. He was like, I don't know, 5'9", 5'10", maybe even 5'11", but like 130 pounds or something. Like, he was really skinny. That's why he calls himself Big Deuce, because it's a projection. It's like he wants everyone to think he's big because he was so small, and like the whole hanging out with like black dudes and like stuff like that, it's all like a projection of him not feeling very manly or masculine and having to surround himself with this, control his environment and surround himself with stuff, that he isn't, basically. But I don't want to talk shit about Aaron. It's easy for me to start talking shit about Aaron, but I don't want to do that anymore. Were you around for the songs The Lost and Circles? I don't think so. I left in the middle of Undead. I came up with the idea of the Randy Rhoads thing. And the Randy Rhoads thing, the Ozzy thing, is, I have another really funny story about Ozzy Osbourne and the Crazy Train song that Undead, yeah, so were you around for those songs? Jarrell and Aaron write about loved ones who died, and there's been rumors like dead brothers, dead girlfriend. I don't think any of that stuff. I think all those dudes, all the HU kids from those guys all grew up together. I was the only one in the band that didn't grow up with all them in the Scientology stuff. So they had some friend of theirs, I think, that committed suicide that was very close to them. I don't remember the dude's name. That's the only thing I remember. And I remember they were all really, I think, really messed up over it because it was like one of the homies. But Scientology doesn't believe in psychology or any like therapy, mental therapy, or anything like that. So that's kind of one of the bad publicity things that Scientology gets, is that they don't allow traditional like psychotherapy to their members, and they're against it. But like when you're crazy, sometimes it helps you. But anyway, what was your favorite song on the Swan Songs album? I haven't even heard them all. The Undead song's pretty good. It's a banger. Would Hollywood Undead be different if you would have stayed? I would think yeah, I would definitely think so. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't see any more questions. But anyway, I will see you guys later. Let me know if there's any other songs you want me to do. I know you guys only want me to do Hollywood Undead songs, but if there's any other songs that you guys think are really good, let me know, and I will check them out. Uncle Shady, Peace.